Greetings, everyone. Lumberg here. Today, we're going to talk about what is quickly becoming my favorite part of the game, Global Conquest. The reason being, even if you're a monster, even if you spend a lot, you can't win this alone. It requires a lot of teamwork. It requires teamwork not only within your alliance, but it also requires teamwork within your nation. So it's a great team building and nation pride building event. However, it is expensive. It may require speeds based on how much your opponent is speeding and spending. It can quickly get expensive. In today's video, we're going to cover an update on my pattern prediction for helping you guys with predict what round 3 will be and just giving you an update on the master list of all the worlds. So let's dive into it. I've been busy. The document is the same, but it has been updated with a lot of information that hopefully will be helpful to you. The link, as usual, will be in the description of this video below. So let's take a look. So this is the basics, just some of the basics for those that don't know. Some of the main thing to keep in mind here is that I've been able to update the data for groups 1 through 6, which goes up to world 498. I have not updated the data for the last 4 groups of 500 to 647. I simply don't have enough spy accounts in those nations, and I haven't had a chance to create them. You have to go through a tutorial to create them. It's just a long process, and I don't have the way of making that quick. It's a very manual process to update the data. We'll start off with World 1. So here you can see this is not World 1, sorry, this is Group 1. So it's Worlds 1 through 182. I've added a couple of things. So I've added in their current points. You can see it here in this column. I've added in the nation BP. It's not really nation BP. So most of you may have already known this or noticed this. This BP isn't nation BP. It's actually the top 10 alliances BP. Where did that number come from? So you can see here in the Global Conquest menu, only before the match has happened. So here you can see if you click on a world, it gives you this total battle power. What I've noticed is that this can be calculated if you add up the top 10 BP alliances only. So if you have a bunch of alliances that are, really highly with high BP from 11 through 100, it doesn't truly reflect your world BP. It's just the top 10 alliance. Most of you already perhaps knew this. This number does get updated, it seems, because since I've recorded, I saw that it changed. So I think it maybe gets updated at reset or at a different frequency. It's not that important. But it does give you an idea of, the world comparative BP, who's had a merger, who's haven't had a merger, who has done a lot of cleansing, or simply who has aligned their alliances to be at the, to be more lean and in the top 10. If you have a lot of farms or accounts that are spread off out of the top 10, it's going to be misleading. So back to the file and Group 1, you can see that in Group 1, just as expected, the worlds that did really well, look at all these season points 10. That means they won their first round. You can see that the BP is massive, and there's no surprise there because we combined Globe 1 and Globe 2. However, some of the newly formed alliance, or some of the newly merged ones should be able to compete. So you can see that they have 7 points. That means they came in second. And then the outlier, just probably from a matching standpoint, they didn't get one of these monster worlds, was 182, who also won first round. Let's quickly take a look. So round 1 was based on actually what happened. And so for each of these, I added in a ranking. So if you click on the plus button here, you can see kind of where they ranked based on their current ranking right now. One thing to keep in mind is that when worlds have the same points, it looks like the ranking is that the highest numbered world gets ranked first. So if you have the same points, it really doesn't make a difference. But that's why basically, if you look at it, this world that has world 99, I think got maximum points as well as 52 and 1 and 2, but 99 is ranked 1 because they're the highest highest numerical world. So it's a simple algorithm. For the greens and the reds means that this is basically my predictive pattern recognition algorithm that I put in, and green means that I got it right. Red means that Camel changed their logic between, something in round one, or for some reason they changed the matchup. So you can see that basically I missed it for two rows and then the corresponding places where they have a matchup. So not too bad. So that means that for round three, there is a margin of error, and I would say that margin of error is probably 10%. So this should be 90% accurate for you guys to be able to kind of plan who your opponents is for the next round. Why do I say that? Because you can look that it actually looks better for world or group two. If you look at group two, I did add in, you know, the same information that I had last time is still relevant. You can see, the last merger date, not all of the mergers. The ranking is in here, and then the world BP. So this was a manual process of me using the SPY account, going into each one of those. And so really this is not nation BP, but this is top 10 alliance BP. And you can see here, just based on these numbers, that this globe or this group is going to be a challenging one. And that's really relevant, or that's really evident by look at these point spreads. Nobody maxed out, and then a lot of the second places almost won. So it's going to be a very tough fought battle. However, look at the algorithm. The algorithm actually got every single one of these correct. So for some reason, whoever does, it might be different people that does the matching from a camel perspective. They decided to change something in group one. They decided to change nothing in round two for group two. So here the margin of error should probably be lower, meaning you can be fairly confident in the round three matchup prediction. So if you want to know who you're matching up with, this is important because I'll show you in for group three. This is my world. I was able to gather some more data. So it's all about timeliness. If you don't gather the data before those menus go away, I was able to get for round one for the ones that I logged into, and you can see for one of them I forgot, or I didn't get a screenshot of it, so I don't have that data here. But right after the Global Conquest battle, it gives you the details by rounds where you can see participants. So this is really helpful information to kind of plan how you want to do your round. So all relevant information. And because I have more SPY accounts for my group, and I had more interest in my group, I was able to capture this. I'm not going to be able to capture this for those other groups. Just from a timing perspective, it's a manual process. Also in this group, you can see that every single world matchup for round two actually matched the algorithm. So that helps me say with more confidence that we're probably going to get round three to be closer. So let's look at my world. My world is 285. We won our first round battle. We didn't max out points. 301, 330, and 356 fought hard. Our opponents for this round is 304, 339, and 363. So you can see that we fortunately got worlds that either had a really tough first round, and that's why they didn't score as high, but they're ranked 29, 30th, and 25th. Right? But let's look at our next opponent. Our next opponent, 309 is there. 349 is there, ranked 1 and 8. So basically, if we were trying to plan it, oops, didn't mean to do that. If we were planning it, we probably ought to save items for round three because we have some pretty tough worlds with 309 and 349 that both won their first round matches. And not only that, it's going to be a tough match. So round three is going to be hard. So our best option, so this schedule is helpful because it helps you kind of plan out how much do you want to emphasize round two versus round three. Because remember, there's only three, and that's it. That's what allows you to qualify for the top 16. Let's go into the world. So this one is the worst results in terms of the matching algorithm. The nation BP I was able to pull. You can see here I got a lot of ones wrong where they changed it up or somebody different did it. So here I would say in this world, round three prediction is going to be not very accurate. So I'd say about 50% or less. So don't really rely on this one. But we get back to normal on globe um, or group five. You can see also the BP is included. Um, and then here, every single world was correctly predicted in round two, the same algorithm. And then one more thing that I wanted to show you guys is that if you want to see in an easy way who your opponents are, and this is what I do, you can expand it here. This is kind of the matching grouping of it, and let's say you are let's say you're world 420, right? So if world 420 round two, you're basically this yellow matching. So you want to filter it by not select all. Let's clear it by group three. And so now you can see these are your opponents. So if you're here, this is round two group who you're matched with. You're going to fight 429, 442, 453. You can see that 442 is a massively strong opponent, number one. You can see that they had mergers while the other worlds didn't, so they're pretty strong. They also maxed their score. And so this is basically, and you can see your BPs and your opponent. You can see that clearly 453 is a newer world, and they haven't had as much success at building strong players, maybe, or at least not many players are there. So they have a distinct disadvantages in the form of the top 10, or maybe they're just more clustered, meaning more of their BP is in 11 onward up ranked alliance. And you can check any of the other groups. If you want to check another group, you just do this and hit. So that's this group of, if you're world 418, you can see this is the matchup there, and it'll help you kind of plan and execute better. You can, of course, also, without looking at it here, at a row level, you can see kind of what the ranking is for your opponents here, because I've included the opponent rank. And we'll move on to globe 6. This is the last globe that I was able to complete, meaning here also the predicted algorithm matched everything perfectly. So the prediction for round 3 is more reliable. I did include the globe BP, and here you can see an outlier in this nation 457. It's going to be very hard to beat them. Just look at that BP difference, almost 3 times more than any other world in this globe. So this is a Chinese, I think, only world where there isn't access. You can't really see them. You can't create a spy city, but you can go into the world and look at the players and the rankings, and I will do a video on that. But good luck to those that have matched with that world. It's going to be a tough battle. And then finally, for these worlds, I am still going to work on it. So I'm not leaving you guys hanging, but it's just a tough process. So I only went through one. I have to create spy accounts for each of these, or at least 8 of them, so that I have access to, at least one from each group. Same thing with globe 8 and 9. And not only that, but in globe 7 through 8, I actually haven't also verified that these round 1, matchup was valid as well. So that's something that also will need to be verified, because I don't know if that round 1, because I didn't create a spy account, I don't know that round 1 is accurate too. So don't rely on 7 through 10. So meaning if your world number is higher than 500 or higher, I haven't finished this analysis for you guys. I hope to get to it, but there's just too many worlds. So bear with me. If you have any questions, if you want a screenshot of this, if you can't access these spreadsheets, let me know, and I'll be happy to make it for at least groups 1 through 6. And hopefully this helps you guys in your planning and your strategy. Good luck tomorrow. Global Conquest is starting in a couple of hours. Good luck in round 1, 2, and 3. Have fun. And I'll hope to update this after round 2 is over, and then do another update of the rankings. So stay tuned for more information. Best of luck. Take care. Bye-bye.